Now it's time for the more special about their new album just brought out. It's called Appraisal, and Magnus will tell you all about it. So the first question is, what is this album all about, Magnus?
Hi John, thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure to finally get to talk to you. Yeah, well, you're correct. Appraisal, our second album, was released on Friday, and we couldn't be more proud about it. Been working really hard the past year just to get it done, basically, to write and record and do the mixing and so on. But the album itself, I would say, to give the larger scope about it, I think it's kind of like emotional states that you go through, either if it's during a day or a week or a year. The different tracks, they pretty much tells a story. There is a higher thought to the track order, and the story starts very, very, very deep and goes deeper, and it ends up with a lot of hope and love. So I would say, to keep it short, it's an emotional state of mind that you go through in the course of a troublesome period in your life.
This album has quite a dark mood, am I right?
Yeah, you are absolutely right, and it's definitely a dark mood on this album. It's for me personally, it's a very naked and honest album, and I think that everyone in the world, every human, goes through phases in life, and this is just a glimpse of a not so happy chapter. Yet again, it is a happy chapter because through the whole process, everything is great. But being in the middle of something troublesome is very dark, and we decided early on to actually go in a darker direction when we did the mixing of our first album, From the Past. And I think looking back now, we had a vision on how we wanted it to sound when we were doing the last mixes on From the Past. And looking back today, the album Appraisal sounds just like we imagine it, how it should have sounded, and we're super happy about it.
You have really developed your own identity and sound. So where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, thank you for that compliment. Yeah, it's hard for any band to get some kind of identity and sound, and it's hard to answer that question because either you got it or you don't, but I don't know. I think we are lucky because all three of us are three completely different people, and I think combining us is a winning formula. So I would say if you take away one ingredient of the band, it won't sound like more. So you need all three components in order for to create what we have created so far. But where do we draw our inspiration? Well, you know, of course, you can hear a lot of inspiration from Depeche Mode listening to our tracks. But we have a broad inspirational source as well. I mean, Matthias listened to Madonna, Rolling Stones, and bands like that. And I'm into kind of The Doors, a Swedish band called Kent, for example. While Lino is more into really nice electronic music, which all three of us actually are listening to, but Lino is more the hardcore electronic music kind of guy.
Would you like to tell the listeners more about your band?
What can I tell about the band? I mean, combining our experiences from past projects, I mean, we've been pretty much making music our whole lives, so it's at least 75 years of experience in songwriting, I would say, if you combine all three of us. But a funny story about the band is that Matthias and Lino, they are friends since childhood, and I'm the newcomer, kind of. So I'm kind of taking a free ride on their friendship and create something beautiful with them. But the drive for some more, I think it's kind of clear that we can't stop making music, and we write songs, maybe not daily, but the flow of new songs are really high up there, and I think all three of us share that vision that writing music is some way of getting your head straight and so on. And I guess that's not unique for More, but it's like an unspoken agreement. They create these beautiful, beautiful sounds landscapes, and I, enriched them with lyrics and melody, and it always sounds like $1,000,000 if you ask me. I'm super proud to be a part of this band.
Well, now that it's possible again to perform normally without too much fuss, what are your plans now that the album has been released?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we released our debut single in April 2020, and that's when the world was just going bananas with the pandemic. So, of course, we haven't been able to perform our songs, and the catalog is growing by the minute. I mean, we have 2 albums out, and we have an EP, so we're dying to go out on the road and just to meet the audience. It's such a nice family to have. And getting the response that we've gotten the past 2 years is just fantastic. So I would love to have all the words burn out from my chest and sing and cover everyone with a large, large hug. So yeah, definitely. We are looking into the possibility to go on the road and be able to meet people on the live stage.
Well, Magnus, thank you for this interview.
Yeah, thank you. It was really nice talking to you, John. And thank you for all that you're doing for all the independent artists out there. I mean, people like you are so valuable for independent artists such as myself. So thank you for that. And I hope you will have a fantastic 2022. And so happy you enjoyed the album.